Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan coming at you today with Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Generation Select Rotorstorm. And I am very happy to get this guy. I got this and Blue Streak from a local seller here in Japan. As you can see, he has been opened and all the plastic ties and all that have been taken off. So without further ado, let's take a look. Pretty run-of-the-mill Generation Selects packaging. You get the title of the figure here, Rotorstorm. Deluxe class, there he is, and you get that sort of spray paint Autobot symbol there with the Cybertronian writing. Run-of-the-mill Selects figures packaging, and let's just open them up and take a quick look at him inside. Won't spend too long because we want to get him out of there and take a closer look. So without further ado, let's do that right now. Okay, so here we have Generation Selects Autobot Rotorstorm out of the box. And just a quick bio on this guy. He was originally released in Europe as a European exclusive under the Turbo Masters line. He was I think the only flight mode. The rest were land vehicles, so I think he was the only one that was like a helicopter in that line. And just from recent looking for him online, I looked on eBay. He's kind of a hard figure to get a hold of. I kind of wanted the original to add to my collection because he looks really cool. He's kind of in between that sort of G1 and G2 era. A lot of people call the Turbo Master G1, but he was right on the borderline of that era. And hence the colors. If you look at the original figure, they are very G2 colors, and you do see that here too on this figure. So again, this is a repaint, slight redeco, new head sculpt, more like of the Decepticon Spinister. So we'll be bringing him in a few minutes and doing a comparison. But right out of the box, this guy looks awesome. I actually hate to say it, Spinister is one of my favorite figures out of the Earthrise line. But I think I like this guy a little bit better. He's just very striking in his paint job and his general appearance. So anyways, let's take a quick look at him. Now, I am happy that they did change the face sculpt. Original pictures of this figure, he did have the same exact head sculpt as Spinister. I think maybe last minute they changed it, and this is a very reminiscent of the actual G1 figure. So I'm very happy that they changed that and wasn't just a straight up repaint. But it is, for the most part, but it does have a new head sculpt. And looking at that head sculpt, you do get some nice detail on there. Sort of a very dark navy helmet with a pink visor and a silver painted face. Very nice. Going down, again, this has a lot more paint apps than Spinister, which I was very surprised at. You do get the Autobot symbol on either side of the shoulders there. And just going down, a lot of silver paint with that sort of dark kind of neon pink there. As far as the mold, it's the exact same mold. I think just a different paint job. Also, you will see when I bring in Spinister, there is no battle damage on his legs. And you do get some really nice paint going down on the double cockpits there. And again, a little bit of paint on his toes here, some blue paint here, which is very nice. He does come with two blasters, which are different. They are painted the same, but the plastic on here is blue, and the plastic on here is sort of a dark gray, not quite black, but you do get the same yellow paint on the tips of the blasters. I'll take those off in a sec to show you. And just going around the figure, we'll see more in vehicle mode, but he does have a little bit of extra paint here. And of course you have the blades that lock in place there. And the back blade is done in that same pink plastic. So that sort of hot pink spotted all around the figure looks really nice. So without further ado, let's bring in Spinister and do a little comparison. So there they are side by side. Yeah, I think Rotorstorm, they definitely added a lot more paint. You can see, just bringing it up close, you can definitely see the difference in the head sculpt there. And just going down the figure, a lot more paint on Rotorstorm. They did add a little bit of paint on Spinister here and here throughout the abdomen. The fact that it doesn't have the battle damage is really nice. It cleans up really nice. One of the biggest differences is not only the clear pink plastic here for the cockpits, but this whole part is painted, where they didn't do that at all for Spinister. It's just all that blue, same blue plastic. And even here in the feet, just bringing down this section. Oh, I guess, yeah, they did paint it in black there, but on Rotorstorm it is painted in that blue, so it tends to pop out a little more. This all seems very muted to me in Spinister. Having the two side by side, yeah, definitely like the deco of Rotorstorm better. But yeah, very G2 in its paint job. But yeah, so anyways, there are the differences. Mostly, actually, I think the guns look to be the same. I have them on opposite hands, but yeah, they look to be the same mold, just different paint. So, anyways, and I'm really glad, again, that they went with the different head sculpt. I'm not going to go through articulation. He has the exact same articulation as Spinister, so I'm not going to really get into that, but I will just do a close-up of the weapons. And again, this guy, speaking of articulation, his joints are very, very tight. The only thing on mine is it doesn't, this part doesn't really lock in as well as Spinister. This tends to be a little bit loose. Let's put those down. Whoa, put them down. By put them down, I mean drop them. And where on Spinister, this is very tight. It actually locks in place and it doesn't move at all. You can see this is, I'm kind of pushing it back and forth and that does not move. So that's the only real problem I see on this Rotorstorm figure is it doesn't really, there is that little tab in that little slot there, that little notch that's supposed to lock in place, but mine does not really. It does and it doesn't. It's just a little tighter on Spinister, but anyways. So leaving those guys in the background and just coming up and taking a look at the blasters. Again, same mold, just painted in different ways. They did add some yellow paint to the tips here. And I think that really makes it look nice. And again, you have that sort of gray plastic with the yellow paint. And it does just make it pop out a little bit more as opposed to Spinisters where they just were molded in the blue and purple plastic. So, and again, you know, he has the ports on his arms. You can put these any way you want. Put them up here. You can have them hold them as blasters. It's up to you what you wanna, how you wanna arm this guy up. So anyways, yeah, let's get these two in vehicle mode and see how they compare with each other. All right, here we have Generation Select's Autobot Rotorstorm transformed in his helicopter mode, and let's take a close look at him. Looks really nice. Again, you saw a lot of the paint work in the robot mode, but just a little bit of sort of seafoam green here paint with the Autobot symbol there, which is really nice. Breaks up all the blue. And again, the cockpit's painted that really nice silver, lots of silver paint, and that sort of translucent pink plastic there for the canopy. And he does have the landing gear, just like Spinister, done in that pink plastic going around the figure. The rotor does spin fine, and the back one too spins very nicely, very freely. Yeah, the only thing I saw as far as transformation, you know, exact same transformation, but again, this part in my Spinister video too a while back, I had the same problem with these tabs fitting into the slots here. They don't quite, and again, I kind of fiddled with the transformation a couple times. I'm not sure if something about the leg transformation maybe in there. It's not quite, you can see it's not quite going in as it should. I think that's probably something on my part, but anyways, yeah, so there is Rotorstorm, and he looks awesome. I really dig this this color scheme. Again, very G2 color scheme. Bringing in Spinister here as for a comparison. There they are side by side. And again, the paint is just, you know, you can't even compare. Just the paint on Rotorstorm is way more, you know, picked out with the silver and the guns being painted and that little bit of, you know, that little bit of back paint on the back section here. You know, Spinish was cool and all, but yeah, it's a little bit more paint ups would have been really nice. So they really knocked it out of the park with this Generation Selects figure, I think. And again, on my Spinister figure too, you know, something going on there. It's probably something I did, but yeah, I think that leg is not quite transformed correctly or something. But anyways, it transforms just fine nonetheless. So there they are, side by side. Yeah, I kind of forgot about Rotorstorm being a Generation Selects figure. Just saw it the other day on a local flea market app, and got him in Blue Streak as a set. So I was very happy to get him. So I didn't really know much about Rotorstorm before I looked him up on the Transformers Wikipedia page. So yeah, learned a little bit something about him, and yeah, now I'm gonna try and hunt down that original G1 figure, because the original G1 figure looks really cool. Looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, they did a really stand-up job on this figure, more so than Spinister. Just kind of night and day here as far as the paint apps and overall look. I think Spinister could have done with a little bit more paint on him. Next to Rotorstorm, he does look a little bit bland there, a little bit blasé. But really cool figures nonetheless. It's really cool to have the same mold in the Autobot and the Decepticon figure. So it's I will be pitting them up against each other later. But yeah. So anyways, this has been the Generation Selects Autobot Rotorstorm. This has been Matt in Japan. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.